What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today I'm going to show you how to record a phone call through your mixer for your podcast or radio shows. Now we'll be showing you guys how to do this on 3 different kinds of USB interface recording mixers from our Rockmix series, the Rockmix 5, the Rockmix 8, and the Rockmix 10FX. This will work on both Macs and PCs with all different kinds of DAWs like GarageBand, Pro Tools, Ableton, Audacity, Logic, and much more. And even if you don't have a Rockmix mixer, if you do have a USB interface recording mixer with similar inputs like the mixers we're showing you today, follow the steps in this video for a full phone call style podcast or interview setup. So first we'll be showing you how to set up phone calls on smaller types of mixers like the Rockmix 5. So first things first, we'll take the USB cable for our mixer and plug that right into our computer. Next we'll want to go into the sound settings of our computer and go to the input section here and switch the input device to USB audio codec by just clicking on it. Now to hear yourself and your caller best through your interface, we actually recommend plugging your headphones right into your computer as well. And after we plug those in, you'll want to click here on the output section and switch your output device to external headphones, again by just clicking on it. And then real quick, on whatever DAW you're using, you're going to want to do the same exact thing on the sound settings there. So for example, I'm using Logic Pro today, so I'm going to go to the Preferences menu, then I'm going to go to Audio, and it already switched here, but I'm going to make sure that the input device is set to USB audio codec, and the output device is set to external headphones. Now the Rockmix 5 has an RCA line input right here, with a dedicated channel so we can control the volume coming through with this knob here. So for this setup, I'm going to need an RCA to aux cable and a lightning dongle because I'll be using my iPhone. If you have an Android phone with a 3.5mm headphone output, you can just plug this end right into your phone. So I'm just going to take my RCA ends and plug them into the RCA line inputs on the mixer. Then I'll plug my lightning dongle right into the aux end of my cable. Then I'll plug the lightning end right into my iPhone. Now to make sure our phone gets recorded into our DAW, we'll go to our line channel here and look for this button under the From sign, and make sure the button is unpressed so that the channel is in line in mode. And under this To sign here, we're actually going to leave this button unpressed so that the phone gets recorded to our main mix. Now one thing to keep in mind is even though our phone is connected to the mixer with our microphone set up to another channel, the caller will only be able to hear us through the built-in microphone of the phone itself. So you'll want to keep your phone nice and close to you and your microphone, which you can do by setting up a stand like our iStand 7 here. Another important thing to keep in mind with these kinds of mixers is that all of your inputs are summed together as 1 and 2, so you won't be seeing separate tracks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on your DAW. This is because this mixer records everything coming out of the main output all together. So with that in mind, all we have to do now on our DAW is create a stereo track like I've done here. This way our voice and our phone call get recorded together on the same track in our DAW. So now we'll want to raise the gain and the level knob for our microphone, then we'll raise the line knob here for our phone, and then we'll also want to raise the main mix knob so everything gets recorded out to our DAW. So next all we have to do is put on our headphones, record enable our track. You'll also want to engage the input monitoring on your track so you hear your voice and your caller. Call our guest on our phone and hit record. Hello, is Lucas there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, it's great to be here.
Thanks for being here, man.
Hey, thank you for having me on the show. I'm really excited.
Now the benefit of a setup like this is that if you're recording a solo podcast with a basic mixer with just one mic input, you can use the line-in channel to record your caller and use your mic channel to record your voice all at the same time. This is an extremely portable setup, so if you need to record a phone call style podcast on the go, you can do this from virtually anywhere with just your Rockmix 5 and your laptop. Now we can also set up a phone call interview podcast on a mixer like the Rockmix 8 with a separate 2-track RCA input. Again, we'll start by plugging in the USB cable from our mixer right into our computer. Then we'll go into the sound settings of our computer, switch the input and the output device to USB audio codec, and then do the same exact thing in the sound settings of your DAW. So again, we'll take our RCA to aux cable, or in this case our dongle because we're using an iPhone, and plug the dongle end right into our phone. Then we'll take our RCA ends and plug them into the 2-track RCA inputs here on our mixer. So similar to our last setup, we'll want to press this button here that reads 2-track to main so that our phone gets recorded to the main mix. We'll also want to press this 2-track to phones button here so we hear everything from our phone right through our headphones. We can also take our headphones and plug them right into the headphones jack here on the mixer. Again, we'll make a stereo track here on our DAW and set the inputs to 1 and 2 so that our voice and phone are recorded on the same track. And in this setup, we want to adjust the volume of the call with the volume control on the phone itself. You can also raise the main mix knob and adjust the level of your mic accordingly so you get a nice blend of both. So next all you have to do is record enable your track, call up your guest, and hit record. Hello, Lucas, you're on the air again, and thanks for joining.
Hey, thank you so much for calling me again. I had a great time last time. I'm looking forward to another call.
You'll also want to raise this knob here to control the volume coming out of your headphones. The benefit of using this kind of setup is that you can have 2 microphones and other devices connected to the mixer, along with your phone call to record all at once. Now for our last setup here, we're going to set the caller up to a stereo line channel on a bigger mixer like our Rockmix 10FX to record. To do this, we'll need a dual TS mono to aux cable, and yet again a dongle for my iPhone. So again, the first thing we'll want to do is take the USB cable for our mixer and plug that right into our computer. Then we'll want to switch the input and output device to our mixer on both our sound preferences and the sound preferences of your DAW. So then we'll take our aux to dual mono TS cables and plug them into the 1/4-inch inputs of a stereo channel here on our mixer. For today, we'll use channels 5 and 6. Then we'll plug the aux end right into our phone. And once again, we'll make a stereo track so we're recording our voice and our caller. Next on our phone call channel, we'll raise the level knob. Then we'll raise the main mix knob so that everything gets recorded out to the computer. Then we'll plug in our headphones and raise the level for the phones here. Then we'll raise the gain and level knob for our microphone channel. Then all we have to do next is call our guest and hit record. Hey there, Lucas. Thanks again for joining us, man.
Hey, thank you. The first 2 were so good, I wanted to come back for a third.
Now what's great about this setup is that we can use the features on the channel like the 2-band EQ, the effects, and the balance knob to affect the sound of our caller. The 2-band EQ would especially help get more clarity and overall sound quality out of the caller, and the effects would be really cool to use for a dramatic effect. Like say we're doing a true crime podcast and we want to use the pitch down feature here on the Rockmix 10FX to make our caller anonymous. So now I'm going to call our guest back and use the 2-band EQ and the effects knob to change the overall sound of his voice. So first let's start with the 2-band EQ, so go ahead, Lucas.
Yeah, so I'm glad to be back here. I had a great time the last 2 podcasts, but now I have new updates on my movie I've been working on. So my movie now is currently going to be shown in multiple smaller theaters, with a snack bar, with everything. Everything that we'll need to have a great movie night, we're going to have there.
Next, let's play with the effects knob as Lucas talks here. Go ahead, Lucas.
Yeah, so with now being greenlit for those movies, I'm very excited. I might even start working on my next movie, which is going to be probably more grounded in reality, a little more realistic, a little more gritty. But, you're always going to try something different. And yeah, so I'm super stoked to see what the future has in store.
So hopefully this showed you guys how easy it is to set up a phone call interview that could be used for podcasts or radio shows. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.